Hey,
we're Brockhampton. We just did an interview on the exact same show.
We talk about a lot of things, like how they're going to go to the
sugar video,
concert, not our concert. Yeah, that's awesome.
Concert, they're not coming to our concert. Woo!
Yeah. Kanye West, Cathedral.
Oh, yes.
Let's do this. Zach Show.
Hello, beautiful human. Hanging out in the studio right now with Brockhampton.
Hey. How was going?
Dan's here too.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What up?
Hey.
We have a lot to cover here. We have an album to go through, Ginger. We have a single Aliens music video. A lot to cover. But you guys, as a unit, are the most unique group I've ever seen. And one, I thank you for existing. Two, I genuinely feel like you've really kind of shown so many other people that they have the ability to do what they want to as well. Right? You guys reaching these new heights and continuing to innovate and keep going. It shows that utilizing the internet, if you have a gift and a talent and you keep going and you're consistent, something can really come. And that's a story that I really deserves to be told. So I thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
It is kind of fucking wild, right? To think that just this group of friends, this family, that's the right way to describe it.
Family.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you remember at what point you realized that this was a family and not just friends?
Man.
For me, it was when we moved to Texas together, like right after high school and stuff. And yeah,
Because a lot of us dropped out,
Yeah.
so we all were like, "Oh, we're all not going to school. We're all in this together."
Was it the idea of common sacrifice?
Yeah, exactly.
I would say so, yeah.
You all put something on the line, and in doing that bonds you?
Yeah,
1,000%.
Yeah.
definitely.
Absolutely.
You know, I was watching your show on Viceland, and I give you all a lot of credit. You stay very focused. You have values and integrity, and you keep true to that. There was a moment where you, Ian, were... by the way, I want to cover the Kevin Abstract and the names and the real names because you guys all introduce yourself as your real name, but obviously there's two sides. But back to you being in this house and there's an artist that wants you to open for them, but you got assigned to this management company to do it, and you're like, no, you stay true. Is it easier to do that when you know you have safety around you?
Yes, it's also easier to do that when you have a specific vision and you know where you want to end up in the future. You know, like you don't know how long it will take to get there, but if you know where you want to go, then you just like stay true to that.
How do you stay focused?
Now or back then?
Has the motivation to stay focused changed between 2018 and now?
A little bit. It was honestly easier to stay focused when I had less money.
It was easier to stay focused because you had less money.
Less comfort, you know? So like,
There's more at risk.
or just you're more in like survival mode when you don't really have anything. So you're going way harder for your ideas and like for your future and like your friends and your family. It's more like I need this immediately. And I'm still a pretty focused person, I would say, but the urgency has definitely gone down just a tiny bit. Yeah, since like 2016, 17.
And do you feel like that urgency is directly tied to money, which equals comfort?
A little bit, because like we were living in like South Central and stuff, and like none of us felt safe or comfortable there. So it was like we need to find a way out of here.
And the idea of signing contracts with somebody else could put you at risk for making the money that you're duly entitled to.
Yeah. I would have just basically it was like I would have had to sign a weird record deal pretty early in my career, and I think we all knew that we wanted to sign a deal once we like kind of established ourselves on our own a little bit more, and I wasn't fully like established yet, really.
And by the way, like throughout your journey, you've been met with those types of decisions a couple times, right? To sign deals, to do album stuff. But focus, it's this unity. It's something that comes together when you make these records that are special.
These guys help me stay focused too, you know, and I think vice versa. I think we just like help each other a lot when it comes to like having tunnel vision.
It's a really cool thing to have because like you don't need to take the first thing that comes to you. You don't need to kind of, I don't know, like you do what you want. And because you have your everything kind of planned out, you know stages in your career and in your life, like you know how you're going to break up. Is that still true?
In a way, we just know that we don't want to do it forever as a group, but we want to be friends and a family forever. But we don't want to.
We'll be like 50 years old.
Calling ourselves a
Having
boy
to
band.
tour.
What do you mean? I thought we were gonna do a reunion tour when we turned right as soon as we turned 50.
You're right.
Is it cool to be able to look that far into the future? But I feel like you can only do that because you have you have each other.
Yeah.
That is the consistency that one needs.
I have a question. Why do you guys consider yourself a boy band? Because we've had other boy bands in here and they don't like that title, and you guys seem to like love it.
Like who? Sorry, I'm curious. I'm just curious.
So like, who's like, why don't we?
There's a few.
Like all those guys, like they're boy bands, but they don't like that title.
Even 5 Seconds of Summer.
Exactly.
I think it's just because we don't like make that style of music that people would call a boy band. So it's just more interesting to redefine what it means to be a boy band when you kind of like look and sound like us.
Yeah. So what do you guys think separates you from all the others that are out there under that title?
Well,
I
I feel like
mean-
a lot of boy bands are put together by other people, or what else?
I mean, objectively speaking, that's like a huge point.
Yeah.
Totally. Because you guys have chemistry and relationship that doesn't exist elsewhere.
Yeah.
You know, when people are just tested.
Yeah. But we do all the things that boy bands do. We have choreography. There's a bunch of boys on stage.
We fight. We love each other.
You have sometimes synchronized outfits, black. I like the orange overalls that look like you're gonna shovel snow.
I like that.
We haven't got that one yet.
Yeah.
I like that.
What is the inspiration behind that? Do they just look good?
I think we're having a discussion like what's the color palette that represents Brockhampton the best, and Nick, who does like a lot of our wardrobe stuff, him and HK, our creative director, they were like, I think orange is like the color for BH, and then we just like let's kind of do something similar to the we used to wear these jumpsuits. They look kind of similar to the ones we wear now, and we wanted to make like a different version of that, really. So it's like nostalgic in a way, but still like a step forward for us.
Same but different.
Yeah,
a nod.
Exactly.
By the way, is that like, have you started to understand that formula more and more as you start to evolve? I mean, you're on your 5th studio album. You know, like there is a balance to like being the same that people know, but then being able to creatively evolve yourself so you don't get bored.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah, he said it. Yeah.
But, do you feel like you have to, when you create a Ginger, do you go in feeling like you're in a box, or do you have to go in free with no expectations and just nothing? Like, how does it start? What song starts it?
To a direct question for your answer, I do feel like stepping up to the mic or in the room with these guys, like freedom of expression is important.
For sure.
And just like trusting that you won't be judged for something you say, and maybe something you say won't make the cut, and that's okay. At least like sometimes overcoming what you're afraid to say or like want to say,
Getting the chance to say it.
getting the chance to say it, like
Yeah.
it's empowering, and I think we all feed off of each other in that way. But I don't know what song started Sugar. I mean, Ginger.
I think that like also like kind of to piggyback off of what you were originally asking, like about like being in boxes, like the relationship between boxes and like being free and stuff like that. I think that like I really can only speak for myself, but I feel like I'm in like 15 different boxes, like just when I wake up in the morning, like just the ones that society puts me in. You know what I'm saying? So like the opportunity to even get a chance to go into a room with like 6 different people, and then there's 6 other people outside the room that are all dedicated to one idea, and the mic is hot for everybody, and like anyone can get a chance to come say whatever they want to say. That's like the most freeing part, if it makes sense. That's the catalyst for everything else.
But also something very, very rare. It's rare to have a totally judgment-free room and to be 100% positive that it's judgment-free. Yo, beautiful human, I gotta talk to you about ASU. If you're considering going back to school, you should ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits that you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of those questions, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 200 highly ranked degree programs, 100% online. You're going to earn the same degree as you would on campus from wherever you are on your schedule. Plus, ASU Online accepts most transfer credits. For more information, text Zach to 35517. Learn for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates, and why 87% of ASU grads really are recruited within 90 days of graduation. Learn to grow, learn to succeed, and learn to thrive at Arizona State University. If you want to learn more, just text Zach to 35517. More information on the ASU online degrees, just text Zach, ZACH, to 35517. So how do you set the topic for the day?
For a song?
Yeah, like what you're saying, like the mic is open to anybody. Mm-hmm. Do you set a tone for that day of what we want to kind of bring out? Does somebody step up first and then that sets it?
I feel like
that kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah. I feel like
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Somebody will record something that everybody really likes, and then it'll just spark everybody to like start writing or start trying to think of what they want to say, and they'll kind of follow in the emotion and what kind of topics they're talking about in their own way.
Yeah. And like Romil, Kiko, and Jabari, usually like they always have something playing. Like pretty much whenever like a session starts or whenever we start making music, like the music doesn't stop until maybe 3 or 4 in the morning, because it's like, you know, Jabari will be downstairs in his studio, Romil will be upstairs in the main studio, Kiko will be in his headphones passing his computer around to a bunch of different people like, yo, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And then next thing you know, when we've recorded maybe 2 or 3 songs of Romil, he might take a break for a second, but his taking a break is Kiko sending him beats, and then he tracks everyone else over Kiko's beats. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
It is like a machine almost.
Definitely a factory.
But a creative, judgment-free factory. Does somebody generate the tone for the record? Is it always somebody different? Or and on that day, do you come in prepared to say something? Or do you kind of let the room bring whatever it is out in you?
I think we'll make like 30 to 50 songs or something, and then that's why we're trying to make the album. And then once we have all of those songs, we start putting together like a little track list, and then we realize we're missing a fun song or a sad song or a political song, whatever it is, and then that's when it starts to get more calculated. At the beginning of the process, it's not like we're not thinking about that stuff at all until we start piecing the album together with the moments we like that were like more natural.
Yeah, I remember we were making Saturation 1 and Joba, and I had a conversation, and he was talking to me about a project he was working on before that album, and he was telling me that he pretty much was like allowing the music to come out of him instead of trying to make the music, and like letting whatever was happening musically around him kind of be the catalyst to whatever his thoughts were, and letting that like relationship kind of like have a symbiosis. And tapping into that for me personally has helped me a lot, because it's not like, okay, what are we writing about today? It's like, what does this melody feel like to me?
What does it bring out in you?
Yeah, exactly. And then I'll just run with that the moment that something comes to me that I can't stop.
By the way, Joba's vocals on, I think it's Face. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Really dope. Like,
Oh, man.
Well, I just had a question. So if the mic is open to anybody, what happens if like everybody has like a dope verse and the song's like 10 minutes long? How do you start cutting back or figuring that out?
We don't put it out.
It doesn't matter how
we
good
had
it
a
is.
song called Lamb, and like
Jeez.
everyone, it was from our first album. Everyone had such a great part on it. We couldn't like trim it down or anything. We did for the YouTube video, but like I don't know.
We trimmed it down so much though.
So
like
we made it
So it was like
short.
rushed almost.
is that a
Like,
good problem to have or a bad problem?
both.
Yeah.
It's good because we'll actually like the 10-minute song, like we'll love it. But
Yeah,
it's
we're
like
this
we
won't
don't
make sense.
No one's gonna be like, oh yeah, 10-minute song.
I mean, it could. Nobody wanted Bohemian Rhapsody when that came out.
Yeah,
Right.
but that's a whole nother.
that's a body of work right there.
That
Yeah,
one's
that-
like
Certain
meticulous-
songs are like necessary for you.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean,
It's like,
you could have put it part 1 and part 2, couldn't you?
True.
yeah,
It's a
where
good
were
idea.
you back then?
I don't know. I mean, you guys could bring me on. I could be another person.
By the way, the 3-part album, Saturation 1, 2, and 3, like that is a rare type of project. Nobody really does that. Why? Do you learn something new from the creation of part 1 to part 2 and then to part 3?
yes,
Absolutely.
That's great
a
questions.
lot.
Thanks. So, what is the biggest thing you learned between 1 and 3?
Oh man.
So I mean, we were talking about this the other day. What was the hardest one? Okay, so the first one we first got kind of a little bit of people listening, and it felt like we had like a little audience listening, and then it brought so much pressure on the second one, so it became so stressful. It was fun and we enjoyed making it, but then we were like, like freaking out about how it feels to have people expecting an album instead of just like making an album and putting it out.
Yeah,
So
because
now the
before nobody was
expectations-
watching.
Yeah.
Or it felt like nobody was
Exactly.
watching.
Yeah.
I think that like something that I've noticed from like a lot of people that doesn't ring true in this group is that when the world isn't paying attention to you, a lot of people are like, look at me. And then the moment the world is paying attention, you're like, don't look at me.
Mm-hmm.
But like here, it was kind of like we were all like trying our best to anticipate the moment when people gave a so that we could figure out how to move from there. You know what I'm saying? Like we all knew we all had the ability to like get people to care. And then it was like once people cared, that what's next part was like
That's scary.
really difficult for a second.
Yeah,
and then once that was figured out, it was like we got that momentum back.
It was really scary, man.
Yeah.
In the videos.
It was really scary. Yeah.
Do you take that fear and focus it into something creative? Do you utilize that to motivate you in any way, or do you feel like
we
it
did,
held
for
you
sure.
back?
No,
I think
it
it
didn't hold us
motivated.
back at all.
Mhm.
We were all pretty scared after Saturation. Like once we dropped Saturation 1, I think like the same day we're like, let's just do Saturation 2. And that was a scary thing because we announced it. Hold on, wait. We announced Saturation 2 before Saturation 1
came out.
was released. So we like,
Had
You
to.
set yourself up.
yeah, we
Yeah,
set
yeah.
ourselves up for like pressure and like, I don't know, it was scary.
It-
That pressure though, and that fear even, is what made that so good. I think because we were
Yeah.
like working nonstop every day,
Nonsense.
not
Insane
really
sense of
sleeping,
urgency.
like just making as many songs as possible.
Writing about what? Were you writing about what you were going through, or were you?
Yeah,
And life,
Everything.
Everything
I
ever.
think we were all coming together to write about collectively our lives to that point and the day-to-day of what we're living through in the moment and kind
Also-
of mixing it all into one.
Sorry.
And like nurturing the creative relationship amongst each other,
Yeah.
and like figuring out what that sounds like. What else can it be? You know.
By the way, I'm going to keep going back on this. Like, you have each other. You have a family.
Yeah.
Imagine going through that as one person alone.
Man.
Yeah, like, and you have the ability to pull the best out of each other.
Yeah.
That is a special relationship. That is super rare.
I mean, I think that a lot of people have people like that in their lives.
Yeah.
It's just two things. Either you don't realize you have those people in your life, or those people low-key piss you off. Because, I mean, if I'm being absolutely honest, like, Kevin's, in moments, believed in me so much more than I believed in myself, where I was like, why the are you, like
Why
I'm
me?
in my head, I'm like, I don't think I can do this. Why do you think I can do this? But he knows that I'm just, like, in the deepest place of myself and trying to get me out of that. You know what I'm saying? But like the realest people that you have like in your circle and stuff like that will be the person who like grabs you and gets you out of bed and puts you in front of what you're supposed to do and says, do it. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Like,
not
you're
what-
great at this. Do it.
It's not what you want in that moment, but it's what you need.
Absolutely.
So going back to that, like him being able to see things in you that you couldn't see in yourself, I feel like that's true as it relates to many people in this group, because it goes back to obviously you all being formed between high school and then the online forum. What were you looking for back then, and what bonded everybody originally? Was it the want for a better life, or was it the want to make music?
me personally, I was just looking for friends and people that that I could like talk to about like music I liked or movies or whatever, and that's all I was looking for really.
A friend group.
Yeah.
A friend group that I could also make stuff with, like, you know, like creative friends.
And did you set that criteria out the gate?
No, I think it was like I want to make a rap group. I want to be like Odd Future or like something like that. That's kind of more so how I was looking at it back then.
And at what point did you realize that this was something that was for real? For real. Like for all of you. Like it wasn't just like a hobby or like hanging out as friends. Was it when you moved?
When we moved to Texas, we opened up for Mac Miller, in Austin. That was a big moment for me.
That was crazy. The Good AM tour.
What else did we do? There was a few things. We played South by Southwest.
We played
and we put a lot into that.
Fool's Gold.
Yeah, Fool's Gold
Oh,
Day
Fool's Gold Day off. man.
Living in
Even before
San
all-
Marcos was a lot for me.
Even
Yeah,
before all that stuff, low key, that first time that we did those shows in like Houston at like Jet Lounge and stuff like that, that was like crazy, like Corpus and all that stuff.
I was
too.
opening for you.
Trippy.
Oh, yeah.
It's so trippy.
You weren't in the group then?
I was just opening for the show
That was when I met Joba, like
by myself.
Oh, at
yeah.
the South by show.
Well, no,
before stuff.
Nah, the
Jet Lounge is in
the
Houston.
show in Houston.
Yeah,
I think I DJ'd for you, right, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
crazy.
Because me and Matt were like making music quite a bit.
That's crazy.
I don't know. It's just
so wild.
things
This
just
is-
happen.
This is very universe, I feel. Like it was
Yeah.
meant for you all to be connected and come together.
Yeah.
Pretty cosmic, yeah.
You mentioned San Marcos. Now, in that song, I think that's like a pretty song. I don't ever call songs pretty, but that's a pretty song. What are you talking about at the very end of it? Talking about how you wanted more out of life than this, but what are you saying exactly,
He wrote that part.
Matt?
Okay, I gotta think about this. What was I thinking when I said that? I'm saying like you're always gonna expect more from yourself or from things, and it's always gonna feel like a hole in you to get more things or do more, be more successful or meet love or all this stuff. It's just like the constant want for more, and then just kind of being okay with that.
How did you feel when you heard that
His answer or the song?
song? Like that part? No, the part you're asking him about. Like what?
Like I said, it's
what was
just
your
like
interpretation
it's
of it?
such a pretty song, and I was like, what? Like, are they saying they want to get out of this place that they're in, and become as successful as you have been? And I just kept listening to that song over and over and over again. So yeah, I don't know. See, now I can't answer the question.
No, it's all good.
I was-
I'm curious.
I was really sad when he wrote that part, and I think I just feel like if I was sad in Texas and I heard that line, I would just connect with it. It's like when you're at a low, you just want to be happy. That's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
And a part of you always wants to be out of the place you're in.
Mm-hmm.
That
Right?
too. Yeah.
And especially if,
Yes.
also attached to your past, this idea that you're bigger than your hometown, you have more to prove, you have more to do, and
Yeah.
you can't really do that all in Texas.
I always wish I could experience the moments that I have and appreciate them, because I'll always appreciate them way more in the future.
It's annoying.
Like in
I
retrospect.
hate it.
By the way, I feel like that's going to be one of the hardest things that you will battle, and you have battled, is this idea that you do things and you don't have the opportunity to properly soak it in.
Yeah.
And by the time you can even start processing something, you move from A to B to C,
And then you miss A and B,
Totally.
and you're at C. And then you miss C.
and you're
it's-
at F.
And then you're 47 years old, balding.
And then we have a reunion tour.
Riding around in scooters or something.
That'd
Just old people.
In residency in Vegas.
I hope I'm not on a scooter.
Dude,
Yeah,
you'd be
yeah.
blessed.
47.
Wow, a Vegas residency. Okay, I have a lot to get to here because there is an incredible album here that everybody needs to listen to. A lot of really, it is a raw album, and by the way, I was very surprised listening to everybody's stories kind of align so properly together, right? And that's going back to the universe thing and the cars, the stars and everything aligning. It's very rare that in boy bands you see a lot of times nobody can creatively decide on anything. It is very difficult to pick a lane, to kind of give people different verses, whatever it may be. But when I'm listening to these records, they're meant to be. They're meant to exist in the way they currently exist. Are there creative differences when you're creating stuff? Or do you feel like everything kind of ends up lining up the way it needs to?
I think there's differences.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say both of those things, actually. There's differences, but we know that it'll line up and be what it's supposed to be by the end of it, regardless of what those differences are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of creative consideration for other people's ideas.
Yeah.
And everyone getting the opportunity to say what they need to say,
Mm-hmm.
And
Or
sometimes
even-
it doesn't make the song better.
Yeah.
And other times it does, and then we can't seem to, for example, part 1, part 2, or a 10-minute song, and then it just it's kind of nature of the beast.
How do you, the way you settle that and correct me if I'm wrong, is it knowing that like when people give notes or critiques, it's coming from a good place, not a bad place?
Absolutely, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We all just want to make the best song, you know.
Yeah.
So we try to keep that in mind when we listen to each other, give each other criticism.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the CEO of Question Everything Inc.?
Me.
Mr. CEO, an honor. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Bow down.
That's a crazy question.
That's a dope question, man.
That's cool. It's just I was like, whoa, that was weird. Weird to
That's
hear.
me.
Long time
That's, I
coming.
was like, wait, that's me.
So essentially, the buck does stop with you.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I mean, like at the top of the pyramid,
Okay.
the guy who holds the weight on the shoulders,
Oh yeah.
you are the CEO.
Yeah.
But working with your family makes things a lot easier.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that much when we're making record. Like it's still like, hey, what do you guys think of this? It's not like me being like, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Even though our new TV show makes it seem like that's how I am, that's not how I am.
I was wondering how much of that is staged and how much of that is real life.
That's the whole point.
We'll never know.
That's the whole point. Like I want to confuse people.
Well, you're doing a good job of it.
Thanks.
I have no fucking clue.
That's great.
Also, you direct them. You direct the episodes, right? And you directed the music video for Sugar.
Yes.
So, are those challenges for you, or do they come easy?
Yeah, it's really challenging, especially the show, because I guess I'm trying to confuse people, but I'm also making myself look like a kid, you know, and that's like,
It's really courageous, honestly.
I just want to, I don't know, at the end of the day, I want to do like film stuff, TV and film stuff, so I'm trying to lean into any sort of film project or whatever that feels like a challenge, like the Sugar video or like that series. So I'm just really using this as like I don't know, just it's like an outlet to get better at this kind of stuff.
What is drawing your attention to that form of storytelling?
For the music video or for the
Just in general, do you feel like you can tell a more vivid story through a music video or a TV show or something rather than a record?
yeah, I also think just ever since I was a little kid, I think I wanted to be like an actor or a comedian or something like that at first. And I had this crazy obsession with Will Smith. I realized he was a rapper at first, and that's why I started rapping. So and also after like meeting Shia and stuff and like learning about like acting and little things he does from him, I've applied that to like my performances in videos or like it's made me realize that I have the most fun when I'm doing something visual. Most fun, like when I'm, yeah, that's more fun than me trying to write a chorus that I feel like would stick or be immediate. That stuff is fun too, don't get me wrong, but like I just have way more fun like making videos and stuff.
What is it that's fun? Is it seeing it all? What is it?
Yeah, it's like just being specific on set and then going to edit it and then saying that like that thing you saw in your head is like
Real.
yeah, it's real.
Bareface and Maryland, do you guys enjoy these video parts? Like
Yeah.
being on camera?
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't seem like it would.
Yo,
How are you doing back there?
I'm cooling, bro.
You know, I love one of your verses. Don't call me stupid. That ain't the way my name pronounced. Don't call me Cupid. I got too many hoes right now. Poolside in Houston, trying to see if Beyonce will take me for adoption. Broke ass rich suburbs, a civilian shot in Third Ward just by the fountain. That is a beautiful statement and a very powerful verse.
That is my verse.
Yeah, it is fantastic because it takes you on a journey top to bottom. It starts really light and then it hits you.
True.
It hits you with honesty.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hey, beautiful human, real quick. Everybody knows about the risks of driving drunk. You could get in a crash. People could get hurt or killed. But let's take a moment to look at some surprising statistics. Almost 29 people in the United States die every day in an alcohol-impaired vehicle crash. That's one person every 50 minutes. Even though drunk driving fatalities have fallen by a third in the last 3 decades, drunk driving crashes still claim more than 10,000 lives each and every year. Many people also are unaware that driving while high can be just as dangerous. In 2015, 42% of drivers killed in crashes tested positive for drugs. It's not so harmless after all, is it? Come on, get this. from 2007 to 2015, marijuana use among drivers killed in crashes doubled. The truth is, driving while high is deadly. So please, stop kidding yourself. If you are impaired from alcohol or drugs, do not get behind the wheel of a vehicle. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Drive sober, or get pulled over. Where are you at when you come up with something like that? Because obviously, I know your obsession with Dennis Rodman. You say your name a lot, but something like this is, dude, it's something. So what headspace are you in to produce that?
Merlin, I'm in my own world a lot of the time, but I'm just living like the dream of like a Texas young rapper. So I still just got to remember where I came from and all the places that I've been and all the people that I've seen. So I just try to put it all into the music, all those experiences, like from growing up in Texas to like recording in like bathrooms and all that dirty South.
Is it hard to remember where you've come from?
No.
Do you want to forget sometimes?
Yes.
Because you grew up in Ghana and you could have been an architect.
I didn't grow up in Ghana. I went to school there for a little bit.
Sorry, the internet lied to me. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
But the architect thing is correct?
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
You gave up a lot to tap into music.
Yeah, I mean, like, school is like a lot, yeah. Like, it was a really good opportunity. It was like a top architecture school. But I mean, like, no salary, no amount of money is worth, like, or can compare to the worth of your dream, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
That's a really heavy statement, and by the way, should really be noted. Because, like, a lot of people, and I think
Noted.
the society tells you to take the path that everybody travels, which, by the way, tends to be the easiest path and the most guaranteed path, which is, like, going to school, get money, whatever.
You know what's wild, though? That path, like, wasn't always dictated either.
Totally.
Like, going to school probably at one point was, like, really ridiculous when, like, people were working, like, when it was, like, child labor was still a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just being completely objective about it. Like,
And by the way, then education takes over, then business tends to inspire education, and the bigger the business gets, the more it becomes ingrained in our freaking DNA that after high school you spend $30,000 plus a year on college, get out with debt, have a hard time finding a job, and then sit in student loan debt. It's a vicious cycle driving people above us.
Yeah,
And
it really is.
Those who choose to break that, deserves to be applauded.
Yeah, it's hard to break the status quo and, like, do something different than what the world around you is doing.
Totally.
Yeah,
For real.
my great grandfather, like, he was like a corn farmer. Like, and his brother was a corn farmer too, and my great grandfather sent his kids to school, and his brother was like, bro, like, why are you doing that? That's foolish. Like, I'm sending my kids to, like, learn how to farm. They can be way richer, but, like, it just depends on, like, the perspective that you have. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Totally.
yeah.
That one thing, though, changes everybody's life. And that one decision that your grandfather made could actually be the reason why you're here today, which is even probably crazier to think about, like, even in this group.
Yeah, for real. His decision of staying in school when everyone was like, don't stay in school, and my decision of not staying in school when everyone else was like, stay in school.
It's
You
the
know what I'm
same
saying?
but different, man.
Yeah. It all works
Picking
out.
up the torch. In a way,
Parallels
you
are
know?
crazy.
It is crazy. Hey, is there a verse that you guys feel the most personally connected to? Like I could better phrase that. Is there a verse that we should listen to best understand who you are?
For me, I would say my verse on Milk.
What is it?
Hi, my name is Merlin. You want me to rap the whole thing?
Give me a taste, and then tell me why it's you.
You should just spit that verse.
Go, do it.
Hi, my name is Merlin. I just applied for food stamps. I just moved to California with my boy band. Damn, I don't remember. Is that it?
Yeah, that's the beginning of it. Yeah.
That's the beginning.
Dropped out of a good school. Hippies in my commune. I left when the rent was due. Used to want a briefcase
And a short
and a short commute. Used to want to sell coke and whip a Audi coupe. Crazy if I did that, wouldn't be talking to you. Walk you through the pitfalls of a college student. Crazy how you get them letters and they make you feel accepted till you walk around campus and you the only African. Nobody with passion, just cats that take direction well, take acid trips to find themselves well.
Hyper aware. Beautiful.
Sick verse.
I love that verse.
Thanks. Thank you guys. You flatter me.
I remember crying when I first heard that verse, bro. I was just like,
That's
damn.
amazing.
What made you cry? Like, what was it
It's
about?
like circumstance. I was very tired from like mixing as well as working with all the guys, and that was the last song I got to mix on the first record, Saturation, and I just remember it woke me up. And it was just too honest, and plus I know him well, and like I don't know.
He also performs it really hopeful. Like he has a lot of hope in his voice.
Yeah, it's awe-inspiring, you know.
It's cool that like even those the closest to you could still appreciate and be inspired and affected by your art.
Mm-hmm.
There's no jadedness here, but it's because you kind of keep pushing yourself to do better and be better and reach into new sides of yourself. It's pretty special. Like, I don't know. It's very, very cool. This is family. What else? Anyone else have a verse that we should listen to really understand them?
I'm trying not to jump the gun and like walk out of here and be like, why did I say that one? 'Cause it seems like every time I try, I'm like, why did I say that?
Ian?
Your verse on Big Boy is insane, dude.
I know, dude. It is, and exactly why I don't want it to be the one where I'm like, this is who I am.
Is it hard for you to attach yourself to one? I mean, obviously, they're all a part of your identity, and I feel like I'm putting you in a tough position because I think obviously they're from you and your life. So, you know, you listen to all of them, you can really get an understanding of who you are as a person. So I am putting stress and pressure on this.
I don't think I have one verse that specifically is all who I am. I feel like they all play a part.
So in everything that Brockhampton does, is it fair to say that all of these records are solely derived from reality? Nothing is conceptual?
There's conceptual.
For me,
things.
no. I just be saying stuff sometimes.
Got it.
Yeah,
Shit, like big
There's
time.
definitely conceptual stuff there and there, yeah.
So is there a difference between the sessions that are derived from reality and those that are coming from imagination?
No.
Say,
We never like.
We're not like this is an imagination moment.
Yeah, the two can coexist.
I think the root of all of it is the catalyst, and usually that catalyst is us all being in the room, hearing a beat, and being like, "I'm gonna talk about this," and we don't really say, "I'm gonna talk about this." We just write it and rap it, and it kind of happens. And as it's happening, people will throw their 2 cents in if they feel it's even necessary. Sometimes they don't, you know.
Sometimes a beat will just remind me of a specific artist or era, and then I'll try to like channel that artist and copy them.
Yeah, same.
But to that point, I just want to throw out one conversation I had with Matt. I remember like I was really struggling with writer's block and just like not even knowing how to even approach anything. Like whenever we first started working as a group, and he told me not to worry about what people were saying. And like by not doing that, I was able to like free up my thoughts and just like get it out. And then hearing it in context, I realized like we all actually do kind of like tap into the same things in a weird way.
And that seems to be the theme here is like it's judgment-free zone, so you're free to say and do whatever it is that you feel is right in that moment, whether it be from reality or it be fiction. It's whatever makes the song the best and kind of comes from within, yeah?
I think that's also what makes Brockhampton interesting. All the different perspectives, and like you never know like what someone else is gonna say on the song, you know.
Yeah,
I like that it's not too dialed in subject matter wise.
Yeah.
There's no formula to a Brockhampton record.
Sometimes, but normally
Not in the writing.
Yeah, while writing, no, not at all.
You've acknowledged before that you guys want to be the biggest boy band in the world, but you've also at the same time acknowledged that like your creative path that you're taking might not necessarily bring you there or yield those results.
Yes.
Is that because you're unwilling to be creatively flexible and mold your vision to a higher formula or mainstream system?
For me, I think it's just a universe thing.
Explain that.
Like some people are meant to be the biggest thing in the world, some aren't. But art is like what we all want to do. It's why we're here. That's the most important thing. The fame stuff or whatever, like those other aspirations, if we end up there, cool. If not, it's okay, because we're doing all right, and we're having fun, and like we're healthy, and you know, life's okay. That's what I mean when I say that, at least.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Is it hard for you guys, or have you comprehended yet that people do idolize you all as a group and as individuals?
Yes.
Very hard to comprehend.
Just talking to people who come to the shows and like wait in the freezing cold, like outside, you know, just like the stuff that they say about us and to me, I'm just like, whoa. Sometimes I need it. Sometimes it's terrifying. And obviously, sometimes I don't believe it, you know, because like all that's coming at you a million miles a minute, all this stuff is happening, then you go home and it's kind of quiet, you know, and then
and you're left with everything that your fans left you with at the end of a show, or said to you, right?
to a big degree, yeah. I mean, I tend to rely on like, because I'll seek those conversations out to like, I don't know, use it as like a guiding power in a way.
That. Is it motivating?
Absolutely, yeah.
But it's also scary and filled with pressure, right? Because when somebody hits you with, somebody idolizes you and has a conversation with you, sometimes people can, you know, kind of hand their baggage to you. It's a lot to carry.
I think it doesn't scare me that much, only because I was such a big fan of so many people, like, when I was younger. So I kind of get their perspective, and maybe that's why it doesn't scare me. It feels very, like, almost like I understand them and where they're coming from, and it's easy for me to talk to these people that really care about our stuff.
Have you understood why you? Like, why they like you? Why they idolize you?
Yeah.
I think
because they identify with, like, my struggle, or like the stuff I say in the music, or yeah, stuff like that. And that's why I cared so much about the people I looked up to. You see a bit of yourself in the stuff you like, right? So I think that's it. We're just like similar.
Yeah, art's a huge catalyst into like articulating your experiences, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
You know, so like 16-year-old me might not have been able to articulate my anxiety, but listening to Kid Cudi helped it. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And now that I'm like old enough to like understand that like there was a point in time where Kid Cudi changed my life, if that makes sense. And then I realized I changed my life, but all of the things that were surrounding me were the catalyst to me wanting to get up and change that.
And Kid Cudi just happened to be the soundtrack to
one
it.
of many catalysts.
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like we kind of serve a purpose for other people in that sense now.
Totally.
Like, I'm not saving anyone's life. I'm just a catalyst to help them figure out whatever it is they need to figure out. Like, whether it's having a conversation with their parents, whether it's having a conversation with their best friend, like whatever it is in that moment that you need to do, if there's any way that what we're doing is helping you do that, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't thank me, thank you. Like, that's that. I didn't expect that. I didn't demand that or like anticipate that. You know what I'm saying? That's just the fucking grace of this world, you know?
It's the true effect of genuine art and like real art in a sea of nonsense. You guys are creating real.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You mentioned talking to parents, and I wanted to ask, like, how would you describe who you guys are to parents? Because I was watching the Ellen performance, and I was like, any of these women know who these guys are. So, like, how would you describe yourself to somebody older that may not understand?
What a boy band is in 2020.
Okay.
Nice.
Ooh, we live in the future now.
That's a good description, yeah.
You could ask if they have a child, and maybe they could fill them in.
I will say that like we're like a pop band, so it's like it's a lot of hip hop, but it's also a lot of R&B, EDM, and just it's pop. It's just
popular music.
Yeah, like you gotta hear it, but like you'll love it. Like and I told them that we have a lot of older fans as well.
Yeah,
A fun young band with some attractive guys.
smoking hot babes with like rich spirits, like very rich in the spirit.
Crazy bodies, bro.
Yeah.
Crazy six pack.
The six packs.
Everywhere you look.
Next
Yeah,
level.
I mean, let's not get into all that. We don't need that.
Grease
Actually,
stuff.
we can get into it.
Gotta get all the soccer moms.
Let's get into it.
So, okay, I don't mean to ask like basic questions, but like, is there anybody you have on your radar that you actually want to work with?
Christian Alexander.
Okay, cool.
Casey Musgraves
Oh, that's a good one.
Wow. So, like, we think about this.
Yeah.
all the time.
What do you, I mean, I'm sure there's people who have come to you looking to do something, but you might say no to them. What does it take? Like, what do you look for in somebody who's going to collaborate? I mean, this is a
We're
family.
honestly open to whoever, like,
Yeah.
you know.
You're just going to let anybody in?
Yeah.
I love looking for people who have
if they're nice people.
Yeah, I really fuck with people who have stories worth telling, who don't have the means or the platform to tell it yet. Like, like my friend Victor, like he is like a huge catalyst for a lot of things for me right now in my life. You know, just in general.
So maybe help build a star.
I think that'd be sick.
How do we measure success?
It's a great question.
Individually and as a group? And I want an answer from everybody on this.
Individually and as a group.
How do we measure
Yes.
success?
Yeah.
Individually as in a group. I'll say two things that come to mind off the top. For me, like personal happiness is like a huge one. Like just feeling super comfortable in my own skin. And as a group, like obviously us making great stuff. But like more so just like feeling the love. Just like to an overwhelming degree. And feeling comfortable.
That's a big
I don't
one.
know. Comfort and happiness, man. Like
Comfort and happiness while not getting lazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I
Yeah.
get comfortable and then I get lazy.
Yes, you do.
I guess those two things to me are something that I kind of fluctuate
Yeah.
either way. So personally and as a group and within the group, you know.
Comfort and happiness and being comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Who wants to go next?
I'll say I wish I felt. This will be an honest answer. I wish I felt that I wanted happiness, but I want to make things. I'm so in my head about making things that are great in whatever avenue I want to do that I think less about happiness, and I think I want to make this or I want to make that or be this way that I can and create the stuff I have in my head. So I think success for me is living up to my expectations, which maybe I'll never do, but I focus so much on that.
I second that.
Do you feel like you need expectations to strive for something?
Yeah.
I get it.
Do you not think you're living up to your expectations right now? With all the success you've had?
So
Yeah,
far
that's
from it, dog.
definitely not.
So
No
far
one.
from it.
From living up to
Really?
my expectations. I feel like, I mean, if I look back at myself 16, I'm like, yeah, but I feel like when you get successful and you start getting in the groove of making things, you start seeing like your expectations of where you could go, and then you try to push yourself, and you're like, you could be doing more,
Yeah.
you could be doing this.
If I could do this, what else could I do?
Exactly.
And it's like that
Yeah.
expectations versus reality thing, or like the perception of things versus how it actually is, you know?
Like
Like-
two opposing magnets.
Yeah. Like to the outside looking in, it might seem like things are super successful, but like my parents still work normal jobs. I'm not successful, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to someone who does what I'm doing in this career field and stuff like that, I wouldn't consider it success until my family's comfortable, if that makes sense. That's like a huge
Hell yeah.
piece for me. So like, I guess like my answer would be like security and stability, if that makes sense.
Totally.
Nice.
Yes, it does.
That's a great
Security
answer.
and stability. By the way, like, strive for it. What are you thinking back there? How do you measure success?
Oh man, I measure success by the quality of my work, I would say. By like if I make something that's like it makes me feel something. Like I feel like if it makes me like if I write something and it makes me want to cry while like I'm writing it, then I'm like I'm doing my job.
So, like, reaching within yourself, sharing different sides of yourself.
Yep. Just like being like transparent and like being an artist and like not like Joba said, like not fearing what people say.
Respect. Very rarely do people come here and say that they measure success in honesty and transparency. What are you two thinking? You've said nothing.
Yeah.
The people like hearing
He
you
had a
talk.
rough night last night. We went out. It was insane.
Bareface, what are you doing?
I'm just
Oh no, I look at the comment section.
chilling.
Everyone's like, Bareface isn't talking again.
I'm just chilling, you know. But
He's putting it on purpose now.
I'd say I measure success if when everything's like done with, when it comes to the end of it, if I can look back on it and like if I'm like truly proud of it, like not looking at it objectively, like I don't know, if I'm like within myself, I'm truly like, okay, no, I'm proud of everything that I did. Then yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
For me, when I was 11 years old, I recorded my first song, and being able to play it back and hearing my voice back and knowing that I made something that made me feel successful. And I think even now, like if we make a song and I play it back and it sounds like, oh, this is a real song, like this is doesn't feel amateurish. I feel successful whenever I could do that.
What is your definition of a non-amateurish sounding record?
Like it's mixed, it sounds polished. I can imagine it on the radio. I can imagine other people listening to it, or I can imagine myself listening to it the way I listened to music that I heard when I was growing up. Like so that feels like that's all I really need, honestly.
It's pretty cool.
I only said that because I was like, when's the first time I felt like, oh wow, I just did something I'm really proud of? And I think that's like the first time I felt that feeling, and it's kind of the same feeling every time I hear something back that sounds like good.
What do you think back when you hear American Boyfriend?
I'm just proud of it.
Does that song change its meaning to you as time has evolved?
Yeah, only because of nostalgia, really. So like when I become like removed from something for a while and I go back, it just like takes me back to that time, and then now it has a new meaning on top of what it already means to me, you know? Because now it's like making me like miss this specific era or something.
Were you honest in your music when you were 11?
No.
What would you write about?
Just made up stuff, like, you know, almost like, you know, girls and money and stuff like that. Money I didn't have. Girls that
and
weren't
money.
talking to me. You know?
When I think of things I need to live, girls, money, air.
Yeah.
That's what I always say.
That's
what
real,
success
man.
looks like to you.
Honeys and hunnits, baby. All day. Give me a lyric from that song.
From when I was 11?
Yeah, dude.
I don't remember, bro.
Get out of here.
I swear I
Do
don't.
you have it on a computer somewhere?
No.
You burnt it?
I did.
It's in a hole?
What's the freestyle bar?
What freestyle?
You freestyle?
In the bathroom.
Oh, there's videos of me rapping like in the bathroom when I was in 7th grade, and it's like me and my friends would go to the bathroom after PE class and we would just freestyle battle each other. It's quite embarrassing, but it's on YouTube. You just look up Kevin Abstract freestyle battle bathroom. Something like
You
that.
snapped.
Dude. You look like you really love sharing that with everybody.
Now I do, because it's like I'm saying like the most homophobic stuff, and it's just like I'm really I was projecting pretty hard. I'm gay, by the way, in case people don't know. I just had to say homophobic stuff that might be really bad if you don't know I'm gay. Anyways.
By the way, like going back, and I know we really do got to wrap up.
We gotta talk about the Sugar music video before you guys get out of here.
Damn.
We've talked about it a lot.
We gotta go. I'm having fun up here.
I
don't want to go.
You know, you projecting in the bathroom is very.
Sorry.
It's
relatable.
Weird thing to say.
Projecting in the bathroom.
Sounds wild. Oh. All right.
That's what we all do.
When I was watching your Vice show, when I was watching your Vice show, there was this amazing moment with you and an old neighbor who is this racist.
Oh yeah, with the snake. He always had a snake on his neck.
Yes,
what?
he used to.
The dude at Moss Cliff.
Oh, of course.
He would send like a dog. He sent a dog to you guys when you were hanging out, just like, doing nothing.
Yeah.
And he was an ass. And then when he saw you guys again after being successful, you know, he was just literally lips right in your ass. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
It was really this gross thing. Yeah. There's been many full circle moments in your existence on many different levels.
Yeah.
Is there one that's kind of wild outside of projecting in the bathroom? Because that might be up there.
No, that's the craziest one. That one.
Full circle.
Projecting
Full
in the bathroom,
circle.
craziest one. Hands down.
You look like you want to just go full on turtle right now.
I am a turtle, bro. Fully.
It's real.
A projecting turtle.
Sugar music video. You want to talk about the alien with the mullet?
I'm gonna talk about the whole thing.
Let's do it.
I assume it's your idea, Kevin.
Sadly.
So
Sadly, because
Come
I
on,
have
man.
to talk about it and explain this dumb idea every
I
time.
can explain it.
You want to explain it?
Yeah,
It's so fun.
I'll be. Wait, what's the question?
It's actually a beautiful idea. I
It
just
is a
say
beautiful
dumb because
idea.
it was a nightmare and I woke up and wrote my dream down and turned to a video.
okay.
That's why I'm like, that's kind of silly. Dumb in like the sense that it's silly, not stupid. Sorry. Okay, let me shut up.
Has
You
that
got- you
did
got-
that
you got-
happen
you got-
before when you like have you documented your dreams previously?
Sometimes I've been doing it more now though because I was really proud of that video. So it's like maybe I might catch another good thing.
So,
That's how Dolly used to paint.
Oh wow,
Subconscious, man.
that's crazy.
it is
He would
real.
Wake, yeah,
Powerful.
Dolly would wake himself up between like 2 and 4 a.m. and then paint. And he like sometimes he would paint with his eyes closed. Like there's like stories about it.
See, I smoke too much weed. My dreams are gone. I should stop for this moment. So, do you have like notes? Like, have you woken up and read something that you've taken down that were like hard to translate?
I had a nightmare the other day on the bus and I woke up and like I couldn't even really open my eyes. So I was just typing and I haven't read it back yet, but it was a scary, scary dream.
Wow, I'm so excited to see what you think of that.
What do you guys think of this sugar concept video when he brings it to you guys?
I was like hype.
Same.
That's I was like, holy shit, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's
Thanks, Dom. Joba, thanks, man.
yeah, especially when we saw the storyboard as well.
That was I was gonna say like one of the big things that goes into like these ideas and stuff like that. For me, I can kind of gauge how excited people are by how invested they get into the idea. Like so like if someone has an idea and like random people start not random people, but people that we know that are like part of our extended friend network is when I start coming over to the house, I'm like, oh okay, some shit's going down. So our friend Spencer was there when I walked in the house already drawing the storyboard. Ian's like, yo, I got this crazy ass idea. So I was like immediately hooked, if that makes sense. And then he starts explaining it to me. I'm like, holy I see the storyboard. I'm like, so it was just like really, the whole thing was just like crazy style to me. I was super into it from the jump.
An alien.
Okay, about the alien. Doesn't he look like Jack Nicholson a little bit?
Go back and look at
Pull
that.
up a photo of him.
Looks away into the distance. Pull up a photo of him.
Was it hard to pick the alien? Did you like look at many?
We looked at a lot of aliens, a lot of men and women for the lovers. But as soon as I saw Bobby, the guy who played the alien, like, that's our guy.
Yeah. What was it about Bobby?
He's so tight.
He just had his energy was great, most interesting like body, and he was the perfect alien.
Wow. Congratulations.
And he had
to
this
him.
crazy like
Bobby's awesome.
scream yell thing that he did too. That
Yeah,
was
he
like holy.
was screaming on set too. That didn't make its way into the
It
video.
was like a Wilhelm
wish it
scream,
made
like
it, but he
literally.
had a
It was
great scream.
crazy.
It was powerful. It
It was
resonated.
awesome.
Bobby, could you scream one more time?
Also the alien and
The devil are the same person.
the alien and the devil are the same person, but the alien and the boy that he kills, they're lovers.
The alien and the boy are lovers.
Yes.
Oh.
And if you look in the room, there's all this like NASA stuff and things like that because this guy has this crazy obsession with aliens. And he was dating this alien, but it was a low-key thing. It was they weren't public. And then the alien finds him with this girl, and the girl has no idea that this guy is like talking to this alien, so she didn't do anything wrong. So he's like, I'm gonna take your life.
What?
And there was a cut where
Are you the alien in real life?
man, Man.
Man.
Wow.
The girl,
I think you're the alien, man.
It's okay if he is.
the girl a hoe for that.
Bruh.
Taking the alien boy.
The girl didn't do nothing wrong.
She didn't know.
No, she didn't know, but
the
Dude's
guy's the hoe.
yeah, he's the POS.
My bad, I'm about to fight.
Sure. I mean,
It's okay if you're the alien. Subconscious, you could be.
If aliens came to Earth, who out of you guys would sleep with an alien?
Depends.
That's a hard question.
Yeah.
How
Are they
desperate are
bad?
they?
How good does the alien look?
listen, I'll tell you off air.
So you know.
Definitely Merlin.
Yeah, that's actually
Whoa.
pretty reasonable.
Hey,
Whoa.
who you guys think would be the best at stand-up from everybody up here?
Maryland.
Whoa, I barely said anything.
Well, that's what I mean. I feel like the guy with stand-up would come in with a few jokes and get off stage.
All right, that's a good note. Thank you.
I think you have something.
Thanks. I'm working
Ian.
on it, bro.
You're on your way.
Far from it, but
Slow and steady wins the race.
I've been showing them my stand-up every show, and they just check out.
You got 3 good
Hey,
jokes.
do your
though.
family joke.
Oh,
Not
good.
in a negative way.
You want to workshop something here?
Yeah,
No, let's try it.
You can stand up if you want with the mic. I'll put a spotlight on
You
your
gonna
face.
end up bleeping the whole thing.
Bro,
out.
show him a joke.
Give us one.
No, you can't hear these jokes.
You can't.
What?
Let's be real.
They're not dialed in yet. They're
Yeah.
He's still
Yeah,
getting
that's
like
funny.
the rhythm down.
Still learning the pacing and the timing and stuff like
It's a
that.
workshop, bro.
Well, I'll be here.
We're all
We're not gonna
hecklers.
judge.
Nah, man, you gotta do it the right way.
We're good around you though because we heckle you. So
Yeah,
it
we
makes
heckle
you.
the
Sometimes
shit
you guys
out of
just
them.
stop listening.
No, that's not true. I
That's
know
what-
your joke.
I
That's
see
how it
y'all
be.
on y'all's phone, like just scrolling while I'm saying a joke. It's so sad.
Well,
That's how you know it's not a good joke.
Come up with some new jokes.
I know.
I did want to ask quick. No, the Harry Styles line. Did people just take that and run with it, or are you actually like a big fan of them and Harry Styles in One Direction?
I love Harry Styles.
So how do you feel about performing on the same night in Los Angeles?
I'm mad.
Because you would rather be there.
I'd rather be there. Also, some of our fans are like, we're not gonna go see you. We're gonna go see Harry.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I'm going to see Harry.
See?
I'm not lying.
Wow.
Wow. Jeez.
Well, that's all right.
Hey,
I'm sad as hell.
where we at with Kanye
Enjoy
West
yourself.
right now?
Ask
we-
Karen.
Bareface. You like Kanye West?
I love Kanye West.
But he said right now.
Right now, don't love Kanye West.
I love Kanye West. I'll always love Kanye West.
Same.
I don't care what he makes, what he says. It's my guy.
Would you go see him at a church?
Yeah.
It's different. I
For
actually,
sure.
a part of me respects it. Like I love his Sunday services. The
It's-
Joel Osteen thing, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around. I'm obsessed with the Sunday services.
The Sunday service group, they sound so amazing.
Yeah, they're so good.
They're so good.
It's
I've never
incredible.
been like to a Sunday service, but all the videos I've seen online,
Yeah, the aesthetic match with the sound is
That's
like
great.
really
Yeah.
enlightening. It's beautiful.
it's fire.
It's kind of cool.
It'd be rad to hear it in like an old cathedral. It's like just crazy acoustics.
For sure.
Ear lips to Kanye's ears. Brockhampton, everybody.
You heard it here first.
Sugar is the single. Ginger's the album. Really listen to it. It's f***ing awesome.
Are all y'all gonna see Harry on Friday?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
True
that's only
story.
because they invited us before you guys did.
Damn.
I guess they didn't even invite us.
I'm not even mad. I can't be
You
mad.
guys. This is we just met.
Well, we
Yeah,
have
we-
2 shows. We got a late show, so you can try to make the late one.
Yeah, I mean,
We have a show at midnight.
Wait, really?
I swear.
Oh,
yeah, we got 2 shows in one day, but you know,
I want to go to that.
Come to the midnight.
Come to the-
Yeah,
Oh.
at the Palladium?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the spot. I can come through.
Hey, beautiful human. Thanks for watching our full interview, but I get it. Like, a full interview is a lot. So we got a clips channel. We don't expect you to watch the full thing anymore, so we just gave you the highlights. Please subscribe and notifications and all that stuff. Okay, cool. I love you.